I'm normally your go-to for like fun real estate content, but today I want to talk about schools, specifically Indiana schools and how they're funded, and more specifically, Hamilton Southeastern schools and the referendum that's on the ballot next month. So if you're here for that, buckle up. What I've learned from talking to my friends and people around Fishers, which is where HSC is located, is that most people don't know what a referendum is, or that we have one, or know that it's on the ballot next month. So let's just take a minute and break it down. In 2009, Indiana shifted how schools were funded. And it used to be tax levies, and now the funding comes primarily from the state. So the state gives each school a budget for what they're going to get for the year. They did it in the name of tax relief, but that's where referendums came back on the ballots. Currently, Hamilton Southeastern Schools in Fishers is the third lowest funded school system in the state. So they did this in the name of tax relief, but like I said, the opposite has kind of happened. I was talking to somebody high up in Hamilton Southeastern Schools this week, and I was told that 80% of schools in Indiana have a referendum in place, which is basically just a supplement to the funding they get from the state. And I believe that every school system in Hamilton County has a referendum in place. So tax referendums are now the norm in addition to the state funding. So here's what a referendum is. They put this like state regulated verbiage on a ballot that essentially says property owners will pay X to help fund schools. But they make you write it in a way that sounds way worse than it really is. So here in Fishers, we already have a referendum with a cap rate at 0.23, which is not a percentage or a real number. It's a way that's calculated through your property tax assessment. That referendum from 7 years ago is expiring at the end of this year, 2023. Although the wording on the ballot is really odd because the state makes them say it this way, what they're really asking you on the ballot is to keep a referendum in place, but the tax rate lowers from 0.23 to 0.1995 at its cap, which ends up being what I'm told is about a 12% decrease in what you're already paying for the referendum. So a no vote on the November ballot completely removes the referendum tax on your property bill. A yes vote lowers the cap on your property bill. Currently, Hamilton Southeastern uses the fund for smaller class sizes to attract and retain talent and other help in the classrooms. If the referendum passes, they're also going to add resource officers to the schools. If the referendum does not pass, if you vote no, Hamilton Southeastern Schools in Fishers loses 14% of their operating budget, which is like $26 million. And while there's no actual plan of exactly what will be cut if it doesn't pass, clearly bigger class sizes, maybe a school or two being closed, tons of extra classroom help and administration cut, and who knows what else. You can go to advancehseschools.com for more information. But remember that even a yes vote means if you're a property owner, you're going to be paying less than you're currently paying. And we'd be able to retain this great name of great schools that we have. And a no vote means we go back to being the third lowest funded school system in the state of Indiana. I hope that helps everybody because it's super confusing and I've gone to great lengths to try and understand it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, guys.